When they was warning me about everybody else, they never told me how they was gonna do me. When they had me setting my attention on the inconsistencies and the inaccuracies of other people who were trying to infiltrate my network, that they had begun to dominate because they ran a social play that left me isolated with them and their wicked intentions. Be careful around those people that always want to talk to you in private. Be careful around those people who want to be the only ones that give and gift you. Be careful around those people who hate to see you talking and interacting with other people, who can't stand to see another person receive your pleasantries and your smile. That's not love. That's dominance. That's control. You're going to be in a box. They're going to hold you hostage. They're going to use your feelings against you. They're going to turn your character into insults. They don't want you to be nice. They don't want you to be friendly. Understand, we live inside of a culture. We live inside of a society that says the more I love you, the more I'll hate them. How am I supposed to love you if I'm full of hatred for the people that you suspect me to desire? You trying to convince me to hate them have talked me out of loving you. Rather than deal with our unnatural childish appetites that are destroying our inner peace and wrecking our relationships, we actually look for people to facilitate our dysfunction and cater to our ignorance. Your best friends are not likely the ones that challenge you and point out your inconsistencies and shortcomings. Your best friends are probably the ones that support you through even your downfalls. And that's cool to have support because that comes from love. But you be wanting people to be silent. You be wanting people to pretend like they didn't see it. You be wanting people to accept your explanations and your descriptions of what they just witnessed with their own antennas and throw out all of the data that they collected and just go off of your take of it. That's not gonna happen. That's not love. That's not acceptance. That's not natural. You shouldn't want that. You shouldn't need that. You still want to control the narrative, and it's because you still have a fear of people seeing you in a way that you don't want to be seen. You still have not reconciled with the truth of yourself, aligned with it, and dedicated your existence on the physical plane to the full expression, to the uttermost of who you are, regardless of how they feel about it, regardless of what their opinions are, because you have heard some really silly opinions in your lifetime. You have held some really silly opinions in your lifetime. You have thought people were terrible. You have thought people wanted to hurt you and found out in the end that they were teaching you a lesson that you couldn't see yet. We were given the game by people who did not want to see us win. We were given the game by people who wanted to keep us ignorant so they did not have to share the false sense, the imaginary wealth that they made for themselves. There is a universal abundance that awaits you. You don't have to fight and claw for the facade. The American dream is the dream that Americans hold. Why don't you settle for the heavenly experience that has been given to you freely? It's not going to be forced on you. It's embedded inside of you, the same as it's embedded inside of the universal law that dictates and controls the entire universal experience. You've been allowing people to dictate for you what you will have and what you will do, how you will feel. You've been allowing situations, circumstances, hardships, even the high moments in your life to control and dictate and tell you who you are. You have allowed for life to put you on a leash when life is supposed to be guided by you. You've allowed for your brain to make you the subordinate when your brain is always supposed to be subordinate to I am on the inside of you. But when you're not aware of who you are, when you're not aware of your power, when you're not aware of your capabilities, you sit, complain, and allow chaos to reign. We partner with some of the dumbest concepts, and because we partner with such concepts, we build dumb paradigms and we express the dumbness that we believe through the actions that others judge. And then we get upset with the others who judge our dumb actions because we don't identify the dumb paradigms that we've partnered with on the inside that drives us to the stupidity that others can see that we are blind to. Many of the things that we believe are absolutely foolish, but because we don't take the time to stop and verbalize them or write them down or even sit and meditate on them and become conscious of the paradigms that we've paired together and actually depend on in the day-to-day of our experience. For instance, you say that God is good. You say that God created you and all things, but you say that a good angel crossed your unconditional God and was cast out of heaven. In every sense, even though the Savior has since saved the cosmos and made all things new, you say that there are still demons and devils roaming and causing havoc, terrorizing you and everyone that has dedicated their life to God. And I just want to know, what kind of father is that? What kind of father would that be, to allow for an enemy to continue to terrorize not only his kingdom, but to continue to terrorize his children? Wait. But then that's where we say, that God allows for the devil to test us and tempt us, but God doesn't tempt or test us. I heard the silliest thing this week. I heard that we all share a common enemy. That enemy is Satan, and Satan is powerful. He does have power, I heard this week. He is alive. He is active. He does have ears, apparently, because it is being promoted right now, trending on TikTok, hot off the press, from the pulpit to the rappers, that we were told to go in our closets and pray out of the way, silently within ourselves, so that the mental enemy, the invisible one, that is not physical, but is a spiritual being, would not overhear us. We have been so trained by language. We've been so trained by the influence that we give other people that we think know more than us or are out ahead of us, because we don't understand concepts and precepts like the first becoming the last, because all are equal, because all were created by a universal God who extended the same measure to all. We don't understand pictures of the same capacity and capabilities being in all of the vessels that were released onto the physical plane. We don't understand such concepts because we've came up inside a hierarchy. We've came up our entire lives. We had parents, we had older siblings. At some point you fell on the totem pole lower than someone else. You went to school, there was the teacher, there was the dean, there was the principal. You went to work, there was the manager, there was the CEO, there was the corporate office. That everywhere you went, you've seen that there was a hierarchy, there was a superiority system that was in place, and you've applied that same system to the spiritual realm that reflects none of this foolishness, that is a reflection of what we partner with in the illusionary chase of what we desire. This world has not been and is not today a reflection of the truth. It is not today a reflection of our Creator. It is a reflection of our delusions. It is a reflection of our ignorance. It is a reflection of our misalignment. You wonder why there's so much sickness. This group blames that group blames this group. Donald Trump gets up and speaks in rooms that are predominantly white, and he says that we have a DNA problem. You get online and you're looking at people on YouTube speak about a group of people who are subhuman and have calloused third eyes, and everybody is blame shifting, and it's the ignorance that each individual subgroup has partnered with that combines for the war that we blame the government for. The government is our drug issue? No, our drug issue comes from the fact that most of us live sad and depressed lives, and we're constantly looking for an out. Too scared to not exist. So we find ulterior states to live inside of that we grow comfortable with, because that's what you do with dysfunction that you don't destroy. Dysfunction that you don't destroy destroys you. This is simple. The devil, don't be concerned about the imaginary enemy overhearing you to the point that you now suppress all of your true expressions. You now limit your vibrations. You now limit your ability to call to yourself what it is that you are called to, because you are afraid of someone that is not concerned with you. Somebody that does not exist can't be concerned with you. And understand, if there was a supreme universal enemy that was in opposition to the universal God, he probably wouldn't spend too much time dealing with you, because what is it that you really have set yourself out to accomplish that extends beyond you and your very limited view of your circle? You be trying to change you and like 10 other lives. We're talking about a universal experience. We're talking about including not only the people who speak the same language as you, but including people who live on other continents. The universal God that you have pictured and the universal opposition that you have pictured would be concerning themselves with the entire picture. So I get that you say it's love that keeps the universal God that you have pictured dedicated to you. You get up and go to church at 11 o'clock on Sundays, and sometimes you make Wednesday night service. You take communion on first Sunday. You pay tithes every now and then from that job that you've compromised and sold your time to obtain resources for. You did not go to that job with God in mind. You did not get that paycheck with God in mind. You gave the 10%, probably not cheerfully, because somebody told you that if you would only give the 10%, that the door, or I'm sorry, my bad, I'm out of practice, the windows of heaven would be opened up and abundance, more would be given to you. You was already given all things. You went and gave somebody 10% of your money. You went and gave a nonprofit 10% of your money because you did not know that all things were already yours, because they belong to your Father. If they belong to your Creator, and your Creator is a creator of love, then your Creator would extend all resources to you. We say stupid stuff on the physical plane that allows for us to see such a beautiful principle that is actually applied and abided by on the spiritual plane at all times. We say that children did not ask to come into this world. Children were brought into this world by the adults who decided to partner and procreate. So this child should not be left to fend for themselves. This child rightfully, justifiably depends on the two who made the decision for them to be here in the physical, because that is the beginning of all of their issues. I didn't ask to be here. I didn't ask for these problems. So you must help me. universal picture. You asked to be here, but you were gifted a body. You were gifted the physical experience. Not so that you can come down here and collect things that would disintegrate. Not so that you can come down here and stockpile a bunch of things that when your arms are lifeless, you would no longer be able to hold or give away. Not so you can come down here and pretend that you were powerful. Not so you can come down here and be accepted and approved of because you were nice. But so that you could be effective, so that you can have an impact, so that you could be a full expression of the invisible realm that we all originate from. You worry about Satan overhearing you. You're worrying about a mythological character. You're worrying about a fable, a tale. Somebody that we used to draw with horns, a pitchfork, and a tail. Overhearing you and sabotaging your plans. Newsflash, you are the sabotager of everything you have ever planned. It has been you and your dysfunctional way of viewing yourself, your dysfunctional way of viewing this world, your dysfunctional way of viewing others that has sabotaged all of your plans. Your plans depend on having a network, but you have a broken paradigm as it pertains to other people. Your plans depend on a healthy you, and you ain't never met you for real. Your plans depend on your ability to navigate and execute and apply what it is that you've seen in your head. And you be scared to go outside, scared of germs, scared of death, scared of weapons, scared of YNs. Stop. You are the only enemy to your success that you need to concern yourself with. You are the only person that you need to withhold knowledge of your abundant productivity. We were taught to be negatively tuned. At all times, there are two messages being promoted. There's how to beat the devil and how to partner with a good God. How to beat a bad devil, how to partner with a good God. How to destroy a deadly enemy. How to love a loving ally. It's much easier to attract a message. It's much easier to attract a crowd around a message centered on negativity. People have many, many precepts and preconceived ideas about the enemy that they fight daily. The demons, those are your broken paradigms. The devil, that is a figment of your imagination. The accuser lives inside of you. It's you that tells you when you meet someone new that you are in front of something or someone other than I am. You've accepted that you are a garden. You've accepted that you are the only one on the grounds allowed to plant in the field. So overnight, when there are tares that have been planted with the good seed that was sown previously, who do you blame? You've created this character who, though you can't see, can hear you. And you need to get off of that. It's your doubts. It's your partnership with your past. It's your remnants of fear and worry. It's your suspicion that plants the tares in the garden that belongs to you, that only you sow and reap from. I can.